Hello and welcome to my online networking presentation. My name is Yusuf Bukari. Today I'm here to share a knowledge with you guys on how to configure Star Network Topology in Cisco Packet Tracer. When we talk about topology simply means a map of a network. Star topology is the most common network topology. It is one of the most used network layout being used in banks, educational institutes, offices, schools, and other organizations. So looking at this particular network, this network is easy to set up, it's easy to maintain, and it's easy to troubleshoot. For example, if computer A here goes down, the other side of the network will still continue to function. That is one advantage of this particular network. Okay, the other side of this network, which is the downside of this network, if the main switch here, which is the central device and also the central point of failure, if this switch here goes down, the entire network will shut down. So as a technician, you always have to make sure that this central device is always maintained and is up and running. Okay, this network is also scalable. You can add and you can remove. Okay, the other downside of it, the more computers you add, the more cables you use. But today I'm going to demonstrate to you guys using Cisco Packet Tracer how to configure this particular network. And then also I'm going to assign an IP addresses to them. When we talk about IP stands for Internet Protocol. Okay, what is Internet Protocol? Internet Protocol, these are sets of rules that are set aside to govern a network. Okay, so what is the importance of an IP address? The importance of an IP address is for the machines here to be able to communicate to each other. So I'm going to assign an IP address to each of the individual computers here for them to be able to share files and resources. Okay, and then talking about IP addresses are divided into classes from class A to class E. So today I'm going to use class C IP address starting from 192 to 223. Okay, so I'm going to use this class of IP address. And then also to assign an IP address, there are two ways. We have a static IP address and Dhcp. So today I'm going to use the static IP address. A static IP address, this is the process wherein you, the network professional or the network technician, you assign the IP addresses manually to the computers, right? You assign the IP addresses manually to the computer. So that is what exactly I'm going to do. On the other hand, when we talk about Dhcp, Dhcp stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. For example, when you go to the airport or to any of the hotels, those areas, their network is public domain. Okay, so Dhcp automatically issue IP addresses to devices that are connected to a particular network. Like for example, you go to the airport. Okay, when you join the airport network, automatically your device will be allocated with an IP address. So we call that Dhcp, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Automatically that network will issue an IP address. They have an IP addressing pool, okay, that issue IP addresses to devices that are connected. Okay, but today my implementation is going to be around a static IP address. I'm going to do the input, physical input, manual input. Okay, and then also I'm going to do a process called pinging. Okay, for the machines to be able to share information, first you have to assign them an IP address, and then to test the connectivity of this network, if these computers are connected, you have to do a process called pinging. All right, so the ping tool is used to test whether a particular host is reachable across an IP address. I'll also demonstrate that for you guys to see. And then also I'm going to do a process called addressing and naming. Now if you look at these machines here, they are labeled by letters, okay, A, B, C, D. As for me, I'm going to distinguish them by department. Okay, for example, computer A here will be sales department, computer B will be, you know, customer department, and so forth and so on. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate all that for you guys to see using this particular tool called Packet Tracer. Now, what is a Packet Tracer? I'll talk about Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer is the most widely used networking tool used in academics and industry. Network professionals use it to create logical design of a network before physical configuration of computer network. So my configuration is going to be around logical design, okay, logical design using Cisco Packet Tracer. I have the software already on my machine, so I'm going to launch it and I'm going to start my configuration on this particular network, for this particular network, which is Star Topology. Okay, so to get you, for those who want to, maybe in the future, who wants to play around this tool, okay, this is, if you want to get a Cisco Packet Tracer, you can come to the Cisco Networking Academy website. Just type in this link, netacad.com, and then on the right hand side here you will see the Packet Tracer. You can click on it and then you can download it to your machine. You can do it, use it, you know, to do your exercises for those who want to pursue this networking courses also. All right, so you can get it, you can get the Packet Tracer here on networking, Cisco Networking Academy Center. Okay, as for me, I already have it on my laptop, so I'm just going to open it up. Okay, so you double click on it and it's going to launch the application for me to start the configuration. So you give it a little time. There we go. Now we have the Cisco Packet Tracer is trying to open up. All right, so this is the tool, this is the networking tool that I'm going to use to configure this particular topology, which is Star Topology. Okay, looking here on the left hand side, you see logical. So my implementation is going to be around logical, not physical but logical. This is my working area where this pointer is. This is the working area. This is where I'm going to do the setup and the configuration. Down here, this is the toolbox. This is where you can find all the end use, the end devices. The end devices are here on this toolbox. Okay, now I'm going to network 4 computers with a switch. Okay, this is the switch. As for me, I'm going to use a switch. Some other technicians we use hub and other devices, but I'm going to use a switch. Okay, 4 computers. So now I drag my computers to my workplace or my working area. 4 computers here, 4 computers here. Okay, you can also space them out. All right, so we're trying to set up a Star Topology. Okay, and now we have the 4 computers here. We now need a switch. So you bring your blinking console right here, you click there and you type 24. So you're looking for 24 port switch. So down here you can see 2950-24. So this is 24 port switch. This is the switch that I'm going to use to network this particular topology. Okay, now we have the 4 computers and the switch. Okay, now we need a cable. So you come down here, the same toolbox. This is the cable link. You click on it, and then you have a bunch of cables here. So we are going to use a straight through cable. Okay, you see the straight through cable, you click on it, you drag it to the machine. You have to make sure it's fast Ethernet port. You have to click on fast Ethernet port, the yellow port, and you drag it to the machine. Make sure it's port 1, fast Ethernet, port 1, and then you click. You repeat the same process. Click fast Ethernet, drag it to the switch, and port 2. So like I said earlier, we have 24 ports on this switch. Okay, 24 ports on that switch. So you click, you can cut that one out. So let's do it again. Fast Ethernet, port 2. Okay, repeat the same. Port 3 and port 4. You can space them out if you want to. Always make your work neat. As a technician, you always have to make your work so neat, you know, so that you will have a good VOC. When we talk about VOC, we are talking about the voice of a customer. Okay, so now we have this setup here. This is a Star topology, but for the computers to be able to communicate to each other, we have to assign an IP address to each of these machines here. Okay, but first of all, I am going to do a process called what? Called addressing and naming. All right, so naming facilitates easy asset control measures as well as making maintenance of connected devices easier. Okay, so now I'm going to name these computers by department. Okay, so you have to click on the machine. Make sure you click on it on the interface. Okay, and then you will have this, the interface of this machine. This is the interface of this machine. And then you click on config, and then here you will have a display name. You click in there, backspace that 0, and say A, type A. Okay, space. So you can think about any department. All right, for example, let's say human resource department. Okay, human resource department, EPD. So we have human resource department. Okay, and then you click out. You repeat the same process. Click, config. Computer B is what? Let's say sales department. Okay, you have sales department, and then you click out. You repeat the same one, same process. Config C space, and then let's see customer department. Okay, and then you click out, and then the last one, do the same thing, space D, and let's just say marketing department. Okay, marketing department. Marketing department. So now we have done a process called naming. Okay, addressing and naming. Addressing and naming facilitate easy asset control as well as making maintenance of connected devices easier. Okay, if any of this machine is down inside this network, the technician will be able to trace which department that machine is located. If computer A is down, the technician will say, oh, the human resource department, the computer there is down. The customer service department, that computer there is down. The market department, that computer there is down. So you have to distinguish the machines, okay, so that the technician will be able, to do easy maintenance whenever there is a problem. Okay, now I'm going to assign an IP address. Okay, when we talk about IP, we are talking about internet protocol. Okay, protocols, these are set of rules that are set aside to govern a network, and then the class of the IP address that I'm going to assign to this network is going to be a class C IP address starting from 192.223. Okay, so to assign an IP address, you click on the interface, you go to desktop, IP configuration, you come down here to IP configuration, you click, and then just like I said earlier, there's two ways to assign an IP address. We have Dhcp and static. Static, I'm going to do the input, manual input. I'm going to enter the figures right here. Okay, physical or manual. Okay, so you make sure you bring your blinking cursor under the static, and then you type 192.168.1.1, and then you click down to the subnet mask. Now when we talk about subnet mask also is another huge topic. I'll discuss that in my next video. Now in the eyes of the computers, all right, in the network layer, these numbers here, all right, the computers see these numbers as binary numbers. They are written in zeros and ones. Okay, but subnet mask is another huge topic. I'll discuss that later. So let's just continue with this other process. Okay, so you click out, we have 192.168.1.1. you have to make sure assigning the IP address, you're doing the right one, otherwise you will have error at the end of the day. Okay, so you click out, you go to the second computer, desktop, IP configuration, and then you type again 192.168.1.2. you click, you have the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.0. okay, you click out, you go to the third computer, desktop, IP configuration, static, 192.168.1.3. you have your subnet mask. Go to the last one, desktop, just like that, 192.168.1.4. okay, so now I have assigned an IP address to all these machines here, and now they are now able to communicate to each other. But for us to test the connectivity of this particular network, you have to do a process called pinging. The ping tool is used to test whether a particular host is reachable across an IP network. Okay, so to ping, what we're going to do, I'm going to ping from HR department to market department. So to do that, you have to click on the interface of this machine. You click, and then you go to the command prompt here. In the command prompt here, you have to make sure you type the IP address that is here on this machine, which is located at, right here in this department here, which is the marketing department. Okay, so you should know the IP address here. So I'm going to ping from human resource department to marketing department. So in here, in the command prompt, you type ping, P-I-N-G, space, you type P-I-N-G and then space 192.168.1.4, and then you press enter. So you see Marketing department is replying back to human resource department. Human resource department said hi to marketing department, and marketing department is replying back to human resource department. So there is a communication here now. There is a connection here. So the purpose of networking is for the computers to be able to share files and resources. Okay, so now they are now connected. Okay, they are now connected. So as you can see, they are now connected because they can reply to each other. All right, the connection is right there. And then let's do it again. Let's ping customer department. I'm going to ping right here customer department. So you can just rotate the numbers here using your arrow key, and then you backspace and put 3 there, and you enter. You see, so customer department is also replying to human resource department. So technically, this is a star topology. Okay, this is a star topology. This is the central device. All right, here, this is the central device. This one controls the network. If this central device is down, this entire network will goes down. For instance, if this machine is down, this side of the network will still continue to function. Okay, the side of this network, or the portion here, will still continue to function. So this is one advantage of this particular network. Okay, human resource is down, but the rest are still working. Okay, that is one advantage of this particular network. The disadvantage towards this network is if this main switch is down, the entire network will go down. Okay, for instance, okay, you see, the entire network will go down. So you have to make sure, as a technician, always make sure that the central device, which is the central point of failure, is always up and running. Okay, so also for the configurations that we have done to see the configuration that was done on this machine, you can also enter this command, this networking command, ipconfig, to see the configuration that was done on this machine here, which is located here at this department, human resource department. So you can type in ipconfig, and then you enter. So you can see everything here that was done on this machine here. See the IP address, which is class C IP address, subnet max, everything. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you network star topology using Cisco Packet Tracer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comment, you can leave your comment below, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.